And now we wait.
One debt to society later.
Hey, Holt. Oh, thank you for the sub. Oh wait, no that. Oh, thank you for the sub, Farva. You beautiful boy. I prefer ugly bastard. But you're not ugly. You're a very handsome boy. Very handsome man. Devilishly handsome. Wish I could grow a beard like you, sir. Love you. Stare at boss stream. Yeah, we're just waiting for Duchess to respond. Hopefully she does. I will be very sad if she does not. That's not a beard. That's not a beard. That's the fire of my rage. It's very fine rage, sir. So, got the new Horse Heresy box, and I finished the tank. Boom. Look at that. That's a Spartan assault tank. Hi, Hermes. Look at this fucking thing. So big. It's bigger than a Land Raider. And hold your orgasms. Tis interesting. It also has 10 las cannons. You got room for your dick. Yes, it does. Truly a glorious moment that no one could ever take away. What are you doing? You better not be fucking that tank again. You can't stop me, woman! Shrinks himself so he can drive the tank around. We have a guy here actually in my town who actually managed to make one of the Tau Roxes into actual RC unit with lights and everything. It's great. Almost there. Sweet. She will be with us momentarily, chat. Oh my god. So I spent all day cleaning. No problem. But yeah, I spent all day cleaning today, and my friend came over to help me clean, and essentially, it's like having my dad around. That's how I can compare it. But it was still funny. I'm gonna refill my coffee. I'll be right back. Be right back. She's almost ready, so I'm gonna one moment and get myself some coffee. Double espresso for my depresso. I'm still sad, but now I'm fast. Yeah, spent all day cleaning today, and now my house is only sort of a wreck. Woo! I already said hello, Aramis. I got coffee. So Farva, aka your dad, was there. No, Farva and me may live in the same country, but he lives in a different province than me. Which to you filthy Americans, that's just state but proper English. You know, something proper, something better, something good. Sorry, that was meant for Farva. Well, I've missed Farva. He doesn't talk to me anymore. He's so busy. And I miss him so much. He's such a good man. But we don't talk anymore, and I feel like I fucked up our relationship. I feel like I've done everything wrong. What do I have to do to bring you back to me, Farva? I got such bad crow's eye. Suck my dick. That can be arranged. Oh, the work schedule's getting kinder. He works... What the fuck did I walk into? Announcer of games in 40k Fava flirting! It's the only way. Work schedule is never kind. It never is. Listen, the only way to get, like, that glorious Tumblr fanbase is to have flirtatious men. A lot of personally stuff that was going on last month. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Maybe you and I can get a game of Horse Heresy in. Because, I mean... I got the fucking rulebook! By the way, you wanna know how many pages the rulebook is? Doesn't even come close to how much lore is, like, back in here.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
Hey! She followed! How to play Horror Heresy. I don't know the rules. It's 7th edition rules. 7th edition. Up! We are on. Boop. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, don't mind the camera. It is completely fucked. I need to get a second camera.
Fine.
How are you?
I'm okay. Just let me check if I've picked the right audio stuff. Looks good so far. Is this the mic?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Perfect.
Jack,
Awesome.
Jack, can you hear?
Hey guys.
More than a Harry Potter book. Yes, they can hear us. Awesome. So,
Perfect.
why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the chat?
Hey y'all. As you can tell, I'm not from the North American continent, so I'm from Europe. actually Germany. I have so many channels by now. It's ridiculous. I have on TikTok, let me see, 5, 6, 10 channels. I have no idea. So the one you know me from, Duchess and Dragons, is for D&D. I also have 2 Critical Role collab channels.
Oh, damn.
And it just keeps going like that. So I also have a cosplay channel and a cat channel and a whatever channel. So it's pretty big. But let me see. Instagram, also Nerdish Cosplay, which is probably my biggest channel. I'm not really using Twitter anymore. And I started off as, I guess, a cosplayer. And then I discovered Critical Role, then D&D. And accordingly, those 2 melted into each other. So I'm mostly, almost exclusively, only doing Critical Role cosplays or D&D cosplays now. Just one exception. I'm currently working on A-Life from Forbidden West. So
Ooh.
that's happening.
Well, I think we should start this off right, because you started off with cosplaying, and cosplay has always been something that I have been fascinated to watch and look at. Mm-hmm. I can't do it myself, mostly because, as chat can see, I spent $400 on plastic, so...
I get that. I love it.
But I have to ask, what got you into cosplay?
It's a big mix of things. So it's actually pretty cool because it's happening right now. So I'm currently living about 5 miles away from my hometown, and my hometown has a medieval festival, which is about 4 days, and it's happening this weekend. So they already started partying like yesterday, last night. And so accordingly, as a kid, you end up in costume and you are at the parades and whatever. And that's how I got into that. And I think I was like 12 when I started making my first costume, because my parents were literally, we can't buy you a new costume every year, you know? So a friend of me and we just started making our own costumes. And during studies, I did anything but studying, so I made costumes and sold them on eBay. And that's how that all started.
Well, damn.
Yep. But to be fair, at that point, I had no idea that cosplay exists, so it was more like medieval fantasy and whatever stuff. I bought a lot of books, like historic clothing and whatever. So up to this day, I've not sewn in a zipper because I'm just so drilled not to use them. But the actual first contact I had with cosplay was when I was living in America, and I went to Dragon Con, and that was the first time I actually was like, oh, it's called cosplay, and I like it, you know, so yeah.
Yeah, I had a few friends that got into cosplay and such, and, like, I asked them why they wanted to get into cosplay, and mostly the responses were, listen, the fact that I can dress as something other than looking like myself, and that I can carry a big stick around, makes me very happy, and you will not take this from me. And I'm like, I'm not trying to take it from you.
Give it to me.
So
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm trying to think. Sorry. Like I said, I spent all day cleaning my place.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can come here and clean here.
Oh.
It's literally a mess. You know, when you just clear out the space that's on camera and the rest looks like hell. Welcome.
I mean,
you. In this case, Twitch, but
yeah. So, I have to honestly ask, because Critical Role is such a massive brand and such a big thing.
Yeah.
How did Critical Role find you, or did you send stuff to Critical Role?
When you're cosplayers, I've been going to conventions, you start seeing things popping up. So I saw a lot of people cosplaying Bow and stuff, but I had no idea about, like, you know, Critical Role. I always thought it's like a series or something, like a TV show. And then at some point, it basically started during the pandemic. We started watching Critical Role, and first I was just sitting there, and my partner was talking about all the voice actors and blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So you need to know, in Germany everything's dubbed, so we don't really care about voice actors, because let's say one person is spoken by one person that also speaks another person, so there's no like specific voice for a person. It's really weird. So voice acting in that sense was never a thing. But nowadays obviously we get everything in original, Netflix, thank God, and whatever platforms there are. So I didn't really care about the voice actors, but as longer as I watched Critical Role, as more I got like invested in the whole thing, and at some point it literally hit the point where I'm like, okay, I want to cosplay this. And from there it just spiraled. We basically watched the campaign 2 up to episode 99. That's basically when they took the break for, I think 4 months or whatever from the whole COVID stuff. And we were just up to date when they hit 100, which was the first recorded episode. So I will never freaking in my life see that show live unless I'm in a live show. And I hate it. I hate it so much. What about you? You're a critter, right?
Yeah, so I was aware of Critical Role because my friend Leonidas, he's a big fan. He's got like the metal dice from them. He's got the book from them. Like he carries all the stuff in the thing for them. He's got their special velvet bag, and I'm jealous bastard. Oh, I love that shirt. But I was made aware of them, and I didn't really know what to think because I was made aware of them by campaign 1, and
oh yeah, okay, got it.
I made the mistake of trying to sit through a 4-hour video, like just their 4-hour stream. And that was a massive mistake, because I'm just like...
Did you watch the first episode?
Yes, I made that massive mistake.
Oh my god. Dude, it took me like 10 times before I actually managed to start Box Machina, because I was like, I need to watch the first episode. I'm not skipping to whatever 24 or whatever everybody suggests. I'm watching it from the start, and it was so fucking hard. I totally get.
Yeah.
But you're like...
But
sorry,
then,
I'm swearing a lot.
But then come the pandemic, and I just found myself with not a lot of time. I just found myself with too much time and painting too many figurines. Yep. So I was just like, you know what? Let's put this stuff on in the background, see what happens. And then what do you know? If you listen to it like it's a goddamn audiobook, it works perfectly fine.
Yep.
And
that's what we did. That's also why we caught up so quickly. We were just listening to it or watching it while we were working or something, so it worked out.
Yeah, so who is your... I have to ask, who is your favorite out of the which group is your favorite right now of the 3 campaigns?
Oh my god. The problem is I started with campaign 2, so I just love because they have the characters differently developed. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I guess it's let's not take XU or whatever, because Calamity was freaking amazing. But that's a whole thing, because yeah, different topic. But I guess campaign 2, just because I got into it. But to be fair, I absolutely love the Legend of Vox Machina, that they actually got it animated and everything. I'm so looking forward to the 2nd season. So yeah.
So, can I say something about that? The Legends of Vox Machina.
Yeah.
That show went so hard, and I was like, oh, they're probably gonna like do like the introduction. No, they drop you in the middle of the story, and I'm like,
yeah.
I was just like, okay, so we're just rocking out with Cox out, got it. And then they did the episode where like they're stuck in the mansion and they're fighting off like the shadows and everything. And from what my friend Toast said, he's never seen those creatures done accurately in any animation except for Legends of Vox Machina, where like they just reach into you and you're spilling out black bile and everything, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, that was good stuff. And I haven't finished watching it because my Amazon Prime went up, but I do know the beats of it, And plus,
Okay.
TikTok spoiled me on everything. Thank you,
Yeah.
miserable clock app.
You have to watch it. No kidding. It's so good. Especially you're really in there. You're feeling it, and then you're like, on one hand, I'm happy that I had like 4 weeks to watch like 3 episodes per week. On the other hand, you were like, I need more. Give me all the 12 episodes. You're like an addict because you just want to keep watching because it's like, what, 30 minutes or 20 minutes? I can't remember how long the episodes
It's
are.
30
but they're
minutes.
short,
It's
obviously.
a standard Prime TV show, so it's 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's like I was just thinking because like other formats are like 21 minutes, like Big Bang Theory, I think, like the comedy stuff. So I was like, animated, half an hour is extremely long for animated. So, but I guess, yeah, 30 minutes.
Yep. If you want a good thing about animation, there's this guy named Noodle on YouTube. He does a very good breakdown
Okay.
of animation. And
Nice.
if you want a good laugh, watch his video on like the stupid 60 frame per second videos on YouTube, where like they take an animation, put it through an AI generator, and
Okay.
he got the guy who worked on like the big scene in The Beauty and the Beast. My God, I hate the highway near my house.
I can
You
hear
got
it.
the guy who did like directed that scene where like Belle and the Beast are dancing together. That guy commented on his video saying why he was right, and then like so many dude bros were just like saying, nah, dude, this is the future. No, it isn't. But now
No, back to you. We're doing that the other way around. So, which campaigns have you watched?
So I have watched campaign 1 and I've watched campaign 2. If I had to choose my favorite, I have to say campaign 2, because when you're doing D&D with campaign 1, it takes a bit, and the characters are built to be unlikable from the start, and then you start rooting for them because they're trying. But then like campaign 2, you can see that the cast and crew have gotten together more, and it's like, nah, we're not so shy around each other anymore. We're more comfortable, with what we're doing together. So let's just hammer this home and do what we want to do and be comfortable with what we're doing. Plus, you cannot get any better than Molly Mock coming out of the shower. It's like, bow before me, for I am your god. That will always stick in my head.
It's so ingrained in everybody's career's head. It's just like so iconic.
So, who is your favorite character to cosplay from Critical Role? I keep seeing that why am I forgetting her name? She's a tiefling. Why am I forgetting her name?
Oh, Jester.
Jester, yes.
Jester's. It's hard because it's character development wise. It's when you're getting towards the end of campaign 2, Jester gets really soft and whatever mushy after she gets together with Ford. So it's like.
Oh no! Don't do this to me now. Uh-oh. Well, we're at 169 MS, so nice. Uh-oh. Oh, boy, chat. That's not good. Uh-oh. Hello? Hello?
Does it work again?
Yep, we're back. We're back. I have no idea if that was...
I think it's our provider who was like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah. So what were you...
Wait. I'm turning on the camera. Does that work?
Yep, you're good. I can see you.
Okay.
So what were you saying before you got cut off?
I have no idea when I got cut off.
It was about Jester, uh-oh. Why so laggy? Ooh, the technical difficulties. Fun times ahead. Ooh. That is a nasty... That is a nasty thing. I will call you. Let's see if my service provider is a lot better. Oof, this sucks. They know it. I think I need a restart. Oof. Massive oof, dude. Okay, so while that's happening, we'll take a break for a moment. So, chat, how about you guys get your questions ready for tonight as well? I know a few of you will want to ask her a few questions and such. I really should have asked for pronouns. That is a failure on my part. Ah. Woo! Wada. Wada, 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 wada. Wow, never had that before. Yeah, we're just having a bit of a technical problem, but hopefully we will be back online soon. What is the character you want to cosplay? Save the questions for when we do questions. Don't ask them now. Write them down. Write them on your hand. Write them on paper. Write them on the table. Write them on your screen. Come on. You've got phones. Just like what Blizzard said. By the way, have you guys seen the total fiasco that is Diablo Immortal? Like, holy crap, dude. I know that's like old news by now, but damn. I'm not trusted with Sharpies. Well, that sucks. While we wait, how about I read you the dulcet tones of the Horus Heresy? I probably won't bore you to death while we wait for Duchess to get back. God, look at that. Look at that artwork, dude. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff right there. Like, dang, dude. You know what's really cool? Like, in this book, they do, like, these images where, like, it looks like they painted it. But no, it's just really good photography with a good background. These are models. These are the actual models. It looks really good. Like, I'm very excited about playing Horus Heresy, honestly. Not gonna lie. It's just so good. It's just so good. We got so many good things. Yeah, like, so this book has straight up gone back to 7th edition. Horus Heresy never left 7th edition. So, like, it's been like a nostalgia trip for me. Because, like, I jumped in around 5th edition. Well, near the end of 5th edition, actually. And then played through 6th and 7th. It's just been a crazy ride. It's been really good. Okay. Let me know when you are. But yeah, never left 7th edition. What were the big changes? Asking since 9th edition is technically my first. So instead of so 7th edition is a bit weird. It was really complicated in that way of dice rolls, essentially. Your unit stats were weapon skill, ballistic skill. So, like, say you're a Space Marine. You have a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 4. Now, a lot of people look at that and say, oh, so I have to roll the dice and hit on 4s. No. When you roll a dice, you have to... So, basically, you take your ballistic skill, so a Marine's ballistic skill of 4, subtract that from 7. You hit on 3s. Because they wanted to make this game complicated. Which is something that I will praise 8th edition and 9th edition for, is that stats are simple to under-fucking-stand. Why? Don't ask me. I don't know why they did it that way. They have a fucking chart in here, dude. Let me find the chart for you. That's right. You're getting a math lesson. You thought we were just here to talk to a wonderful cosplayer? Nah, dude. I'm showing you math. Wrong way. Look at that. Look at it. Does that make sense to you? Doesn't to me. Now, I understand this and know this because I am a psychopath and I tortured myself by learning this. Basically, you hit on 6s with 1s, you hit on 5s with 2, you hit on 4s with 3s, you hit on 3s with 4s, you hit on 2s with 5s. It is dumb. But they've also done strength and toughness differently, which is what I actually like, is that if it's a strength that's equal to you, wounding on 4s. Strength that's 1 step lower than your toughness, wound on 5s. Strength that is 2 steps below your toughness is wounding on 6s. Then other way around, if it's 1 step above your toughness, wounding on 3s. If it's 2 steps above your toughness, wounding on 2s. If it's double your toughness and you fail to save, you instantly die regardless of how many wounds you have. Listen, you can survive getting shot by, like, something about yay big. You will not survive a las cannon. I'm sorry. And they introduced, they brought back keywords. So 40k used to have keywords. Before, like, before 9th edition. Why use shapes to represent numbers that don't correspond? My god, dude, what is with your, what is with my thing just screwing over your... That is so weird. Ah! So, yeah, when it comes to keywords, some units have like counterattack, where like you have like counterattack 1, counterattack 2, where the number is how many attacks you get after being charged. We also don't go he who charges go first. It is who has the highest initiative. So like a Marine squad will have an initiative 4, while Primarch Fulgrim will have like an initiative of 8. So Fulgrim will go first. Most of the time. But we also have keywords like Eternal Warrior, which is just this unit cannot be instant killed at all. Or it will not die, which is just like, hey, you regenerate a wound a turn. Makes some amount of sense. It's supposed to be like the dark, grisly bits of war, and tanks no longer have a toughness value. They have an armor value. So front, side, back, you have an armor value. For the Spartan Assault Tank, as an example, it has a front of 14, a side of 14, and a rear of 14. And how it works from there is that you take a weapon's strength, and then you roll a d6 after you hit. If a weapon equals, so basically say like I take a las cannon, which is strength 9. And fire it at a predator whose side armor is 12. On a roll of 1 and 2, I do nothing. Fizzle. On a roll of 3, I glance the armor. So it loses a hull point, but that's it. It just takes a wound, keeps trucking. Then, if I roll a 4, 5, or 6, I penetrate the armor. Which, then, you go onto the damage table, which is 1 to 7. Because AP is no longer -1, -2, -3. It's just AP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. And how AP works now, working on it, restarting the router. Oh shit, she has like full on crashed. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Ah! Some weird haunted BS happening here. Pray the ghosts away, my friends. Anyway, so AP in 7th edition works is that if your armor save is equaled by the AP, you don't get a save. You do not get to use your armor save against it. So if I'm a Marine and I'm getting shot by a plasma gun, I don't get a save. Period. Because it's just melting my armor. Which I prefer that. Because too much things in 9th and 8th edition just slag your armor. But when it comes to tanks, if you have an AP2 weapon, you add 1 to the d6 roll, and if you have an AP1 weapon, you add 2 dice to the roll. Well, you add +2 to the roll. And the table is crew shaken, crew stunned. So like 1 to 3 is crew shaken, 4 is crew stunned, 5 is weapon destroyed, 6 is immobilized, so like the tank can't move anymore, and then 7 is explodes. So, like, usually you want to hit it with AP1 weaponry, because, like, it's AP1, and that +2 to the roll, you're usually doing a lot of damage. But that's, like, also the volatile thing of it. And after a vehicle is destroyed, you don't remove it from the table unless it has blown up. If a tank is just killed, reduced to 0... it just stays on the battlefield as difficult terrain. So like units can interact with it, they can hide behind it, they can go above it, around it, everything. And I prefer that because it adds some things to the game. Instead of, oh, my model is removed, which is boring as sin. Because it doesn't add anything to like the table. It doesn't add like, oh, since that Land Raider died there, I can just move my troops behind it. And that way, like, I can be prepared for a counterattack next turn. Or I can do the counterattack next turn. Or you can use it to strategically block the way. Which your opponent, if they are not using units that can get over that fast enough, that's a detriment to them. You may have lost your vehicle, but now you've blocked a path to the easiest targets, which adds in that extra layer of strategy. I could still see why, though, why people are like hesitant on it. I do not blame them. Because, like, they've really dumbed down 7th edition rules in this. Which, thank you. Another thing that they did was that Psychic Phase is not its own thing anymore. It never was. Psychic powers were done in the shooting phase. They were shooting attacks. Or, like, buffs that you handed out. So, like, in 8th and 9th edition now, you have the Psychic Phase, which is its own thing entirely. You spend an entire turn just going, Hacha, Smite, Hacha, Doombolt, Hacha, Flames of Zinch. Or, like, Blessing of Asia, Shadowy, whatever. And that's fine, that's good. That makes Psychic powers their totally unique thing. In 40k, you have Psychic Mastery level. Like, hi. You scared me.
Sorry.
Oh my god. You spooked me.
It's so clean.
It is clean.
It's pretty.
It is.
How did the thing go?
Her internet died.
Oh no.
It died worse than Horus.
Worse than our internet?
Right now, yes. So we're just waiting on her to get back, and I'm talking about 7th edition while we wait.
Okay. It smells good in here.
I hope so. I took a shower.
What is this? It smells like something. What does it smell like?
Pine?
No. It smells fruity. And it's not because I'm here, because I just got here.
I smell fruity. Rare to see someone crash harder than Boss's internet. Oof! Aramis says hi.
Hello, Aramis.
We're just waiting on her to get back.
Okay. I got paid lots of monies today.
Cool, how much you make?
I don't know, but it's Canada Day, so I got time and a half.
Sweet.
I started a half hour early, but I got off 7 minutes early. So.
Oh, just to let chat know, we're also going to have an interview with Chris Fire next Saturday. I just need to work out a time with him. When he's not drowning in work.
I made $157.99.
Woo! Indentured servitude!
For 6 hours of work. And 23 minutes.
I cleaned out the vacuum.
Nice! You figured out how?
Yes.
Okay, good. Did you have to Google it?
No. It literally says it on the backside.
Yep. Did you not realize that?
No.
Because that's what I told you. It's pretty easy. I'm pretty sure it says it.
Shh. My chat does not need to know that I'm dumber than I actually am.
You're not, though. You just didn't read the thing. Which
There's
most
McDonald's in
people
the
don't.
fridge if you want it.
There's McDonald's! Okay, goodbye.
I did it, chat. They might have to run an update on the provider site because, 2:30 in the morning. Ah, yes, where everybody would be asleep. Ah, should we cancel? Do you want to cancel and try again when it's not having this another time?
2 things and then I'll leave you alone.
You know we have an air fryer from the McDonald's, right? Like, it would be much better if you did that instead of just putting it in the microwave.
I don't know how to use it. I need instructions.
You see, there is a thing called Google.
But it's already in there. Okay, 2 things.
You're an animal.
First, is that Wolfgang's laundry in the washing machine
Yes.
upstairs? Okay. Second, did you text the landlord lady?
No.
Why not?
I was cleaning all day, and I had toast on my ass all day about it.
Okay, you need to message her, because that's the second time that's happened when it shouldn't have, and we need an electrician here to see if they can increase the voltage allowable or some shit.
Breathe. Because I can't contact them till Monday.
Yes, you can. Just because they're not in the office doesn't mean you can't let them know, hey, this was an issue that we had on Friday.
Can I have the cat?
Yes.
We have a cat.
He's sleeping.
Zas. Alright. Boop. We're alive! We're alive!
Kitty! Kitty!
Yes.
Sorry, I see the delayed Twitch stream.
It's okay. Who's a good baby? Sarah's
Hi,
a good
kitty.
baby. This is Sarah. She is our black... What? She's a black tux?
She's just a tuxedo.
Tuxedo kitty?
Yeah.
Aw.
She has been a very
Adorable.
good kitty today and has stayed out of our way when we were cleaning.
Hi, I'm Phoenix. Nice to meet you.
This is my fiance. They just got
Hi,
back
Phoenix.
from work.
Aw.
Okay, I leave now.
Also, congrats.
Take the baby.
Thank you. Okay.
No, don't take the baby.
She's
baby
taking
is
the baby.
precious.
She's taking the baby.
Okay.
Okay.
And a haunted door. Nice.
Yes. I am terrified of it every night. So,
Nice.
back to what we were saying before. Jester.
Yeah. Jester. Good. Exactly. Chester, did you hear me rambling about that she got soft?
Yeah,
after
she got soft
together with
after she
Ford?
married Ford. Well,
Okay.
she got together with Ford, and then
They
you
are
found
not
out.
married, but together. Yeah, exactly. So as a character for cosplaying, it's awesome because you have all stuff going like face paint and fangs and tail and whatnot. So it's really cool. But like the character got less edgy and everything, so it was a bit like, yeah. But I still love her. Don't get me wrong. I love Laura. She is brilliant, and I just love Chester. The most intriguing cosplay, however, is Molly. Molly Mock's freaking code. It's so pretty, but it's so much work. That's why I've never started it, because it would just take too much time. So, yeah.
Now I'm curious, what is your longest turnover time for a cosplay?
I mean, I'm not diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, so I'm working on different cosplays at the same time, get inspired by stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I also am like, I don't want to do stuff double, so I take a lot of time overthinking things and planning and whatever. And then I'm getting into rush, con crunch, and then I'm just like constantly working on stuff. I would say maybe 4 weeks. Like, but that's constant work, like going. Otherwise, I mean, other people build stuff over 3 months or 6 months or whatever. I can't do that. When I'm in it, I'm in it. Otherwise, I lose interest too, I have to say. So
I feel that. So I do have diagnosed ADHD, and it takes a bit.
I'm pretty sure I have it.
Always go get yourself checked out. Always learn. You always learn something interesting about yourself when you go to like the psychiatrist and the therapists.
To be fair, it's not really that common in Germany. In America and Canada, I guess it's just normal that you go to psych or whatever. Here, it's not. And I learned so much from TikTok. For example, I got this timer, and it helps me so much just it I don't like if it would ring at the end because that would freak me out. That would put me under pressure. But just me seeing, like, okay, I need to focus just 30 minutes on my actual work and then I can do something else. Even if I don't actually spend the 30 minutes on work, it helps me to focus a tiny bit, and that's so much improvement already. And that's what TikTok taught me. I know you are like, oh, I hate TikTok and whatever, but there's so much cool shit going on.
I don't hate TikTok. I am frustrated with TikTok. Because
We all are.
like what I learned recently, I don't think I explained it well in the video. I tried to like add that extra disclaimer, but I don't think I explained it very well. So I don't technically have 55K followers. And to a lot of people to a lot of TikTokers like, ah! You mean my numbers don't exist? No, they technically do, but they're not for you. They're for the tags that you usually tag in. So like, as an example, if someone follows you, they're following Cosplay, they're following D&D, that kind of stuff. Or like for me, they're following Horus Heresy, they're following D&D, all that kind of stuff. And TikTok is designed in such a way that you are to keep swiping for content. And that can ruin an attention span. I know it's ruined mine. And most people are not going to stop and like go into your profile, go to find your product store on TikTok at least. YouTube and Twitch, yes, I can confirm that with several of my own chat. But TikTok is such a frustrating app to work with because they are a business at the end of the day. They have to make money. They have to keep the advertisers happy. I understand. But you do not...
haven't even reached the worst part yet, trust me.
I'll
explain in a second.
Oh, so allow me to finish this. But when you're trying to promote your content, your stuff, to keep you afloat, they suppress your video. They hide it, and it's... Ah! Okay, what's the worst part? Because I probably haven't experienced it.
No, you have not, because you're living in an English-speaking country.
Oh, damn.
Okay, can I explain to you what actually happens? And I have actually managed to have actual data for this. So we have Tales of Exandria, which is a collab channel. We have one person from America, we have one person from Germany, and one person from Austria. So as we know already, we figured that quickly out. So Austria and Germany also, they put us in a pool. So German speaking. That means our For You page is German speaking content. We don't get American, English, Canadian, whatever content anymore. So I can click as much as I want on, I don't want to see this shit. I will still get it. So, big issue. It wasn't the case when I started TikTok. It used to be that I got American content, or at least the stuff I wanted to see. That's not happening anymore. So for me, as a D&D player who has their interest in America, or even like, let's say Britain, it's not happening. My content isn't even being pushed to America or Britain, even though I speak English. The worst part was, so recently, we don't get a lot of features, like a lot of filters don't work, bullshit, whatever. Not so important. But there's this text to voice feature. You know that, right?
Yep.
Okay. I only do English videos, so I put English text in there. It is so hilarious. I have to send you the video. And the announcer voice was pronouncing it German. So it really started being like sis. You know, I was just like, what the fuck? The AI should be, should at least recognize it's English, pronounce it English, and don't German because I'm in Germany. What the fuck? So I'm not kidding. I have tried VPNs. It doesn't work. I know one solution that works, and I can't talk about it on TikTok. You need to have an American SIM card. You have to activate it, basically. You have to use a VPN, an American VPN, and then it works. And then you're actually being able to watch American content. That means if I actually wanted to have a business on TikTok, it does not work if I'm in Germany unless I hack the shit. This used to be different, trust me. Also very frustrating right now. One, if you do duets, they have always performed bad, although it's one of the main features. But currently it's like, so another channel I have, we do this type of background D&D stuff. And when we do talkie videos, whatever, it works. Views are okay. As soon as I do a duet, 100 views. What the fuck? You know, it's like, this is not what we want to do. You guys want to form those communities and stuff. You want to connect people. And then the feature that's like most important for that, you suppress. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
Yes. Oh my god. So I am very much a kind of person who wants a community. YouTubers have their communities. As an example, like Markiplier has his community. AlphaRad has his. So on and so forth. And TikTok, I have never seen any of the creators at least work tangentially together. Or if they have, they're people I've never seen before. And
you don't see it because you have a different niche.
Yeah, I do. And I want to create this community for D&D, for Bionicle, for Warhammer. And because, like, we all have overlapping interests, and it's more fun when we have more people. But every time I try, TikTok's just like, nah, let's just bury you like bad history.
I'll give you a quick insight. I think it doesn't really show up for you because you have like D&D and blah, and you have different streams going. There's a big D&D community, and there is in that D&D community, there's Tavern Talk, which is this set, by the way.
Ooh.
There's a Discord for this one. There's just taverns like Quincy's, but way more. There are like, how are they called? Pharmacy? I don't know I don't know how to pronounce it. There are like bookstores, there's whatever. There's one shop for anything, and that's just Tavern TikTok, you know? Then there's D&D TikTok where people just talk about like playing D&D and how to blah, blah, whatever, and parodies and lip sync and whatever. And then you have another niche, which is Critical Role TikTok. So you have those communities, and they actually have Discords running. I have in the meantime so many, I don't know how many Discords I have, but just for D&D. So so my campaigns currently are a bit on ice. So I was asking a friend like, hey, I want to play a one shot. Could we? And he's like, let me invite you to my Discord. So I'm on a Discord where they just play one shots now. And I'm like, what? you know, those communities exist. They are out there, but yeah, you need to fall into the niche.
Yeah, and sadly I don't, because, like I said, I do all kinds of stuff. My series that I am most known for is a series called Dave the Minion, and essentially that was just me kind of venting my politics, while also just being like, hey, here's a minion who used to be like a order driver, and now he's a big stream villain. I haven't touched that in a bit because I'm out of ideas and I don't know what to talk about. But I also do.
You talked to.
You first.
You talked to Elias.
Yes, I did.
Big fat socialist.
Yes, I have.
So he started off with like, you know, Scottish and political and whatever. So now he's making his D&D like series and stuff. Sometimes he talks about his hair, which gave him at the beginning like the most, it gave him the most following, whatever. But he's now doing a lot of just D&D focused stuff. So he was doing a lot of things and ended up in that section. So also a reason why I split my channels, because if you, like you say, you have so many things going, then TikTok is just lost.
Yeah.
So best advice I would give you is split it. If it, I mean,
and that's for Games Warhammer, and that's for Games Dave the Minion. Yeah. That would be smarter. I need to start branching out. But
yeah, it sounds really stupid. I had the same issue. We were doing YouTube like 2008 or something. I started, and we were also doing like daily vlogs for 5 years, stuff like that. So it's been ages, right? There are thousands of videos out there if you're looking. But Even on YouTube, I had the same issue. Do we split or keep everything together? Do the cats actually get their own like channel, or are they just showing up in the blogs, stuff like that? And I think it will be always a struggle, but for TikTok, definitely split it because it does not work otherwise right now.
Yeah. So, like, I have jumped over to YouTube and I have jumped over to Twitch, as you are obviously aware.
Mm-hmm.
And I also stream on YouTube, and I use that to supplement the watch hours and everything on YouTube, at least until I can start getting back into the mojo of editing my videos. Because ADHD, trying to sit in front of a camera, trying to talk about, like, oh, yeah, so this is how you use A and B in this game.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
And then you just want to pound your head off the side of a desk.
Yeah, I feel that so much.
I also gained a new respect for editors because I did a Horus Heresy timeline video part 1. And after that, it was 24 minutes of...
Observation.
Oh,
This is
Tubal,
a
thank you
great
for follow.
opportunity for slaughter.
I spent 24... The video is 24 minutes. It took me 4 days straight with little sleep to edit that video.
Mm-hmm.
And editors around the world, if you are watching this after it is uploaded to YouTube, please love yourself.
Dude, it's horrible because we actually do that for a living. We shoot a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of like events where people politics or whatever just talk, and it's one rather boring, and two, you have to edit it afterwards if you do interviews and stuff, and sometimes you're just like, can I do something else? And then you're reminded, no, this is actually what you want to do, so shut the fuck up.
Can I just like hook
and I wish I had an intern.
Can I just hook my brain up to my computer and like it edits in a second?
Oh my god. I'm not sure how Yura does it, but I think he just unhinges his brain and just does it. I'm so happy I don't have to edit right now because I'm doing other work. But oh my god, it's super boring sometimes. So yeah.
I fully.
So I totally. Yeah, it's the same thing like you said. For example, I really want to do like streams on Twitch where I'm just doing my cosplays, but the person in me is just like, I need to entertain. People won't stay if I don't talk all the time. And then I'm not working because ADHD, I'm totally focused on this and then distracted by that. And one of my kitties just came in, it's a struggle.
It is so hard.
See, one more thing, we are actually, I don't know if you've seen the art, but there's art. Imagine what if Vox Machina, if everybody played a different class, and there's I don't know if you've seen the art, but we actually start a collab. It's for both like campaign 1 and campaign 2. There's art for every character, and I'm actually doing Puma Soul, which is not in the 9, but an additional character, and Percy for Vox Machina. And we have streams where we're crafting together. Do you think I can get anything done? No. I just try to keep the group together and talk. Everybody else is like crafting, and I'm like, shit, I wasted 2 hours.
I have done nothing!
Yes! Successfully!
So, I paint models and I build 40K figurines and everything, and there are just days where, like, I am sitting here with these blank models, just sitting here like, paint us, you bastard! Yep. And I'm just like, I have no motivation.
Yep. Exactly, that is me. But you know how that ends up? It's like when I had to study for university or whatever, I ended up cooking, I ended up cleaning. All of a sudden the house was clean. I wasn't avoiding the good stuff. This is so stupid.
I could either do this thing that'll forward my life and probably get me better experiences, or I could make brain go zoom.
Make super zoom. I grabbed the kitties, actually.
Oh, cat! Yes! Cat! Hell yeah!
This is a fluffy one. Ooh!
Hello! Oh,
hey, baby.
they have gone full pirate.
Yeah, he went. Ugh, help. The hair is everywhere. Sorry. I'm back.
Like, don't worry. I found out that I have 5 cats with how much I cleaned today.
Oh, wow. Okay. Talking about, just a quick jump back. If you were, oh no. Oh, I'm back.
Yep.
I think.
You're good. You haven't had a problem at all.
Okay, it just froze. Everything just froze. Okay. Anyway, what if you were to cosplay and resources, time, whatever, or someone would throw cosplay at you? Who would you want to cosplay from Critical Role? I know there are tons of Warhammer things you can cosplay. I'm totally aware because a friend of mine, she's absolutely like Star Wars and Warhammer, and it's just like she bangs out so many cool costumes. Critical Role for you.
I'm trying to remember his name, but he was from the second campaign, and he's the druid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a druid of the group. The All-Mother.
He's a cleric, Caduceus?
Yeah, Caduceus. I would do that. Just the embodiment of chill. That would be a great thing to cosplay.
You know, that's so weird when you have Taliesin and you see like Percy, and then have you seen anything from campaign 3?
I've seen a little bit.
Now?
I've seen a little bit. I haven't been able to like catch up because I've been so busy. But when you name your character Freshly Cut Grass, you know it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, Fresh Cut Grass is awesome. But Talison's character Ashton, he's a barbarian. So you see there are like two souls in Taliesin. It's one that I want to just murder everything, and the other one is Caduceus, where it's super chill. And you're like, but the chill fits so much better. But I know he wants to like punch things and shoot things and just take them out. I totally get that.
But yeah, as for like other stuff, cosplaying has always been that thing where like I wish I could do it, and it is just a thing of, well, what's stopping you? And it's just, well, I have another hobby, and it has taken my soul. And like,
So why not cosplay? You can cosplay literally out of your closet.
I know. It's also the fact that if I'm going to cosplay, my ideal has always been I want to wear armor. I want to like dress in like the full Space Marine gear, or just wear the
Nice.
Dark Souls armor kind of a thing.
Love it. Yes, totally. Oh, so gorgeous. Yeah.
It is gorgeous. But at the same
Yes.
time is just like, that is a lot of time, that is a lot of effort that I don't
Okay.
have. And it's not because like it's
I get that. The thing is, I'm the cost maker, so I make cosplay. But as a cosplayer, you don't need to make your stuff. It's a hard transition if you're a cost maker and you see people actually buying their cosplays. You're like, what the fuck? But on the other hand, cosplay is literally just dressing up as the character you love.
yes.
Or some do it because whatever, they just love the design. They don't actually know a lot about the character. Total different
So
discussion.
are you aware of an anime, or a manga at least, called My Dress Up Darling?
Haven't seen it. He probably has.
So My Dress Up Darling is a manga that is written by an actual cosplayer. And they go through the entire thing of cosplaying, like different strategies that different cosplayers use.
Yep.
How cosplays are made, how they do certain things, how like in photography shoots, how they do that, group cosplays, all that kind of stuff. And all hidden behind a really clever and beautiful romance. And I am enthralled with it, because in the manga they actually have like little in-between chapters at the end of the book. It's like, oh, so like if you want to do this, here's how you do it. And it's fascinating to read. And then it's all a matter of just actually sitting down and doing it. And I make no excuse. Is that just like,
No.
you want to cosplay? Do it.
No, it's the same thing with the minis. You stare at it and you should you actually want to do it, but you should, and it's just like, ooh, I could go to the kitchen instead, or work.
Should
So
really
it's
get
the
this.
same with cosplay.
Should really get this
Yeah,
ultra
I
rig
know.
done, but there's a Switch right here.
Yeah, exactly. It has. I'm just saying, a lot of creative people just have ADHD, and it's just like that. And it's also a beautiful thing, which makes it. How can I explain that? D&D brought it all together for me. I can improvise very quickly. I'm always calling myself like MacGyver, just because I can, I see things, and in my head they build just together, and I'm not even aware. And then my mouth opens, and it, oh, I want to cast blah blah, and I'm like, huh? It comes out of the blue, and it just happens. So I think it's not always a curse. It's also a good thing to have. I know it stops us from doing a lot of things, but the cat wants to go outside.
The cat has made his displeasure aware.
Go outside and then come in again because you're a cat. Okay, close the door. Also, We're Nerdish is Yoda, so he will diss me or whatever. He said I should be ashamed because, reasons.
Gojo heavily
Anyway.
distorts the time and effort it takes. Yeah, that's so. Chat just said, "Let's be real." Gojo, the character from My Dress Up Darling, who actually makes the costumes,
Yep.
heavily distorts the time and effort it takes. Yeah, but that's translating from one medium to another, and you can't show the entire process, or else people are just going to go. That kind of thing. It's one thing to do it; it's another thing to watch it.
Yep.
But yeah.
You should cosplay.
I can if I will if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I'm running this show, which I now need to make art for. I'm also trying to get my YouTube back up and running properly. I'm trying to Twitch stream every day. I had to give up Adventure League, dude. Just to get back on track, because I got hit with bills that I didn't even know I would have gotten hit with.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Canada. We're just America light. And I hate it.
You're the better version because you have healthcare.
That they want to take away. Yay!
Dude, we just went self-employed fully, and it's like we have to pay so much money for health insurance per month. People are always like, yeah, but Germany it's free. Yeah, but you also pay your monthly thing. So technically it's not free, It's like there are so many bills. It's just like ridiculous, and we have to have insurance for everything. It's just like a legal thing, and you're like,
My premiums.
yeah.
Yes.
No.
So I want to ask this because I asked this for everybody. Oh.
Okay.
How did you get into D&D? Like, what was your first experience? What was your first class? That kind of thing.
Okay, so obviously I was watching Critical Role. All I knew is I want to play D&D, and I didn't really have anyone. I was doing TikTok for about 1.5 years or something like that. Let's say a year, because we started watching the start of the pandemic, but I did, anyway. So, and then all of a sudden, someone I know, who I met at DragonCon years before, wrote me and was like, so I know you like Critical Role, and we're actually starting like a game. They're all like 2 Canadians and 3 Americans, I think. And I'm like, cool, I'm in. I have no idea what I'm doing. All I know for myself is I'm a total rogue normally. So, but weirdly enough, I did start as a rogue. But when I play now and it's like I don't have much time, I build clerics that are tuned as rogues. So clerics are very versatile, and I never heal. I will help people. So if to get you out of like whatever situation you're into, I'll get you out. So MacGyver, but You literally have to be unconscious, and I will use spare the dying on you to bring you back, but the rest is on you. I will not heal you. It's literally take care of your fucking self, and I'll help you with it, you know?
Oh my
But
god.
I'm not healing you. So my clerics are normally like scouts because I can polymorph, so I can fly as an eagle, scout ahead. I have stealth, I have perception high, and also I love to play albino drows because I look like an elf but have the features of a drow. Only the sunlight sensitivity, but whatever, you know. So it's just like I'm tuning the shit out of it just to have like the rogue with spells. Pretty much. I mean, I could go arcane tricks or whatever, but then you have only a limited amount of spells. But since I've started, I love spell casting. But now guess what class and race I would have played if I would have just started D&D. Just like out of the bat, here is high fantasy. What do you play? Yes.
I want to say the most unlikely class, which is Dwarven Artificer.
That would be cool, but I didn't know what an artificer is. An elf ranger. You know, because it's just standard. It's like
I want to be Legolas!
Exactly. I'm just a freaking elf with a bow. That's like... Guess which class I barely ever never play? Ranger. It's just like that.
Well, to be fair, mechanically back then, Ranger was such a bad class. I know the mechanics of it, and it's just, why did you leave Ranger to die, Wizards of the Coast? Like, trying to read everything and... Oh.
Yep. I'm just looking in the chat right now. So.
Yeah, guys, save your questions for question time, please. We will get there. I promise. Keep your questions in your pants, boys and girls and non-binary pals.
Thanks for the questions, by the way.
Yeah, we do question time because we want to get to know you and everything.
That's cool. So, how about you? Do you actively play D&D?
Yes. So
what's your favorite class?
I'm a dungeon master. I'm also a player.
Nice.
So I actually did not start with D&D. I started with Pathfinder, which is just D&D 3.5.
Yeah, like Critical Role.
Yeah. My very first class was Paladin. I love Paladin. I love being the tank. I love being this you're not moving away from me kind of character.
Yeah.
I
get it.
After that, though, I started really speccing into more skill-based classes for Pathfinder, like Investigator, which is basically a mix between Monk and Wizard. And then when I got back into D&D, I went again to Paladin, but I also really fell in love with Sorcerer and Wizard. Because, like, Sorcerers just, haha, spells for days, Palpatine, unlimited power.
Yeah.
Or Wizards, which was just a lot more like, oh, well, I could be like a utility caster, or I could be a support caster.
But I'm so squishy.
And
don't kill me.
You're going to love this. So my friend is working on a horror campaign. And I have the character sheet right over here. I am playing a tricky cleric.
Nice.
A domain of trickery cleric. And his entire thing is that, like, he'll try and smooth talk you. He'll be like, yes, well, let me regale you with a story, and then try to slide out the back after getting a meal that he's not paying for. Or, like, oh, no, I wasn't stealing this. I was just, procuring it for the person. You stole it off their you took it right off of them. Yes, but I thought it was going to fall out. You're going to jail. Fair.
You know, I love playing trickery because I just love the class. And the campaign I'm playing with Elias, the Waking Dungeons. The problem is he's also playing a cleric in that sense, but he's multiclassing with Bard, so Bard with a bit of cleric, and I'm like 10 levels cleric or whatever. We just started with the one-shots, that's why we are so high level. And he has a moral code, so we are not allowed to dominate person and stuff like charming, right? So every time I would do that, he basically told me I'm not allowed because he would counterspell it. So up to recently, he didn't have counterspell. So, but so last session I actually did something where his character was not close by, where I actually used dominate person and then modify memory afterwards. I didn't really modify it, I just made it a bit more nicer, so the person was actually convinced it was their own decision. It didn't cost them anything, right? And we actually did something for it, so it was legit. But it also means that our dungeon master was like, shit. He rolled bad. I can't help it, you know? So basically we just got back on the ship we came. And they are taking us back, and he's now sending some ships that are gonna attack us, which was not planned, but it's now, so we might die.
Oh no. Yeah, so being a DM, it is a very, very hard job to be a DM. Because sometimes, a lot of people, sometimes my friend says it's like babysitting. You're babysitting the group. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fair. But, like, then there's the kinds of things where, like, the people, they use that spell that allows, like, them to ask questions. And to the DM, and all you could do is just give, like, the shit-eating smile behind the GM screen. My friend tried that last time we played Strixhaven, and he's like, will this end badly for me? And I just looked at him and said, no. And it ended horribly for him. And he's like, you said it wouldn't happen. I'm like, I can't predict your dice rolls, mate. And what's worse is that, like, as a DM, you also get wrapped up in what's going on. And recently, for Strixhaven, every time there's, like, the end of the year thing, because it is a school and I do summer vacations for my for my characters, for my players. And we went to the Warlock's Fey domain, where his familiars spawn from. And I do this thing where, like, I ask for all the players' backstories and everything, and I built these things to basically, like, invest them in the campaign. The Warlock's domain was being dragged into hell, basically, into, like, the third ring or, like, the greed ring.
Yeah.
And they immediately began fighting this cult that infiltrated it. And our cleric, to his credit, casted Fireball and killed all the cultists except for the cult leader. And I'm like, cool. Since you've killed all of them at once, because I planned for it, is that they all, like, turn to ash and lock in place. So, like, they're ash statues. But all this energy starts going into the boss. And the boss is... the boss can no longer move. They are immobile, and they just start launching energy in the direction of the party. Now, from what I remember, is that our warlock said, I take my 3 familiars, and they're flying around. I did not remember that he recalled them to him. Energy Blast goes right at them. I say, hey, everyone gets a dex save. Everyone but the fucking cleric fails. Including the dragons.
Okay.
Everybody takes 4d12 plus 10 damage.
Nice. What level were they playing?
They were, like, level 5.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so they all get hit. I roll pretty poorly on the damage, thank God.
Okay, good.
But,
so you didn't TPK them?
No. What happens to a familiar if it dies on its home plane?
Is it dead?
It's gone. It no longer exists. And
damn it.
I didn't realize this, and it had a really good moment for my players. Because the cult leader was actually one of our players' old teammates who was possessed by a demon, so she wasn't in her right mind. And he's basically like, yes, we saved her. I cast Firebolt. What? Our warlock's like, I cast fucking Firebolt. And they're like on a standoff with each other. And then the warlock just turns on his heel and walks away because they convince him to calm down. And then I'm like, wow, Like, he was really invested in this world. I did a really good job. And then I see the player crying, and I'm like, oh no, something happened. And I'm like, are you...
Just murdered my pets.
Barry was caught in that explosion. And I'm like... And that was the collective moment where, like, all of us just snapped into the conversation. And we're like, oh no.
You know, it's so random, but you're like, well, no. You know, it's like Liam always says, it's pretend, but you feel it so hard.
Oh yeah,
It's
he
just-
was... It was hard for, like, the whole party. Like, everyone got upset after hearing that. And I'm like...
Yeah.
I know that this is a game for, like, make-believe, but holy shit.
No,
I
this is...
I haven't...
Dude, if you need some emotions, watch Calamity, because I mean, I have to say the last episode took me over a day to finish it because it's like 6.5 hours long, and I really can't do that in one go anymore. But it's so good. The storytelling is off the charts. It's probably the best thing I've ever seen in D&D. So yeah. And you're so invested in something that's not real. It's ridiculous. And you're invested in something where you're not even part of. You're not part of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, the other thing, people, because you were talking about like the DM having different like things, you need to be the kindergartner and whatever. There was one video, or I made one too, and had people ask, how would you call a DM if not like Dungeon Master or Game Master or whatever? What would you say? And someone said like, what was it? Your tour guide to chaos or something like that, stuff like that. There were so many creative things, and I'm like, yep, that's pretty much it.
So me and my friend Toast, we sort of just switch off and on. So like I DM one weekend, he DMs the other, and
that's cool.
as he put it, essentially that he's the babysitter for us idiots, and I'm like,
yep.
I am the story time person for the ADHD.
Yeah, also good. I love it.
Yeah, and being a DM.
What do you like more, DM?
I like both equally. I like doing both equally because as I like writing stories, I like telling stories. As my friends have put it, when I tell a story, they can't look away. Even my chat has like, no, we're enthralled with what you're saying. Don't stop, because I realize I'm rambling. But when I'm playing a character, I get invested in being that character because they're my creation, and I love playing the character. Plus, it's also just fun to go up to. It's also just fun to go up to Demon and go, Hassan Slash. It's always good.
Love it.
And you will never, I will never have another moment in a D&D campaign where I soloed the final boss by accident.
Okay.
Pathfinder is dumb.
Yeah. Okay. You know what's weird? So, when I just did cosplay before I discovered D&D, I cosplayed a lot of, do you know the show Vikings?
Yes, I know of it.
Okay, so there's Lagatha, and I cosplayed her as one of the first people, so people always connect me with it. I also have an ebook for that, and I've always like cosplayed like strong female warrior type of things, so people who are close up in combat. Since I play D&D, I'm playing ranged. Obviously, if you're looking back at my history, you would think, oh yeah, she's probably playing a paladin or a monk or whatever. It's just close-up combat and blasting shit. Nope. I think it's because I feel like it's almost real life. I don't want to die. So, you know, I use spells. I use bows. I rarely use bows, to be fair. If I can, I blast my spells out or try to find creative solutions, you know, or create mischief or whatever. So it's just like, I'm never the person that's close up. Also, when I play a rogue, obviously I sneak. So it's just like so weird. It's so weird. Looking back at my history, I would have thought I'm the first person with a sword, paladin, and be in the front, but I've not played a paladin so far. I can't get myself to it, and I don't know why. It's probably because in my head it feels like, oh, it's a Templar, you know? It's like, here, I'm fighting for the good. I can never play lawful good, I think.
So
It's just like I need to play chaos.
actually, that's
And
a
in
funny...
my head, a paladin is lawful.
Yeah. So a lot of people gravitate to different classes in D&D. Like, for me, I have always been the kind of person that fills what the party needs, and I just make it my own. But sometimes, if I'm lucky, I do get to pick what I want to play. When it comes to paladins, I am a very strange paladin for a lot of people. Because a lot of people are like, oh, you're going to go paladin, you're going to be like this fucking stick in the mud or stick up your ass kind of character. No.
Yep.
What? I am chaotic good. I am a chaotic good paladin.
Good, I like it.
And they're like,
Yeah.
what? No. Your oaths do not say shit about doing one thing. There's specific codes that you can't do. Currently right now in Frostrime, what we're playing, I have taken on the Paladin of Redemption. I am a neutral good paladin. I understand that we gotta do shit to survive. I am not above eating a goblin's ear. But like
Calamity.
Yeah. But for other characters, I have played paladins where I am neutral. I'm true neutral. Like a paladin of no retreat. You will not run away, or I will gut you.
Yep.
Be scared of me.
Okay, I like it.
Be more scared of me than the thing in front of you. Or like I have played I've only ever played one evil character, because evil characters to me are just really hard to do. Because I
can't do it either.
it's so hard. I cannot.
I apologize directly. I can't do it. It's like, no.
It drives me nuts.
It feels like a karma thing.
Yeah.
It feels like if I do something bad hits me. You know, it's just like, no, I can't do it.
The worst I can do is chaotic neutral, but I can't even do that. I could be called a wimp, but I can't do it. I remember playing, we did like an evil campaign once, and I played a mesmerist, and that was frustrating. I was just like, how do I not come off as comedically evil?
Yeah, I get it.
I can't be this...
evil is so hard. It's so hard.
It is. My friends can do evil so well, though. Like, in my current campaign, I am a neutral good paladin hanging out with a lawful, evil, human rogue, and a neutral evil, reborn. Yeah. And that is so frustrating, because, like, we infiltrate this tower to figure out what's going on, and there's, like, this evil devil-worshipping cult. And I'm like, okay, we shouldn't kill anybody, because we're in the middle of this whole thing, and shit could go sideways real fast. I turn my head for a second, because I hear, what's going on in there? And I turn around, and our reborn is slitting this poor halfling's throat, and he's like, what? And I just...
Reminds me of Campaign 1, and which leads also back to the legend of Vox Machina. Pike, actually, it was in one of the first episodes, she slit someone's throat, and Matt was like, oh no, you just went too far, so he broke her holy symbol, right?
Uh-oh.
And they actually picked that up in the legend of Vox Machina. It's a whole, like, they basically condensed the whole thing, but it's like, he actually punished her, so it was like, what just happened? So she never ever did that again. She went a more like, you know, but that's the same thing. You just turn your head and someone else is just stabbing people or killing people, and you're like, oh, I can't deal with this shit.
We nearly got into a fight because of that, because it was like a whole thing like, oh, I could just take the body and throw it out the open window. No, that body froze to the ground, and he was frozen to it. And I'm like, they break open the door, and they're like, what the hell? We invite you into our tower with hospitality, and I'm like trying to defuse the situation, and our fucking rogue just is like, he tried to attack us first. That one?
That's that's the thing. I could easily play a rogue, an assassin, whatever. But in my mind, I don't wanna be the person that runs ahead and kills people. You know, it's just like.
It's so frustrating. Ah!
I'm so close. You know, I'm like, my character for the Waking Dungeons, she has a twin brother, also albino drow, and they were kind of spies, whatever. So she's highly trained. She could do all that shit, right? So she was on a ship and could have stolen an item, but I knew exactly. She was alone. I couldn't totally do it, but I know the whole party would just yell at me if I had done it. It's like, do I do it because I know the party metagaming will yell at me, or do you do it because your character would actually do it? It's so hard.
It is very, very hard. Like recently, so same campaign where like my two friends just murder a halfling. I assumed that my friend's character would have told me that, hey, our rogue is technically psychic, so be aware of that. I thought he told me that, and I said that, like, hey, I know you can read my goddamn mind, and the player just looks at me and goes, no, you fucking can't. No one's told you that. And I'm like, like, my brain just stopped for a second. I'm like, I just looked to my kobold player, and he's just like, I didn't say that to you. And I'm like, oh my god, I take all that back. And the DM's just laughing.
Yeah.
Because...
It's metagaming is so hard when you know things and your character obviously doesn't. It's like,
It's kind of why I don't like researching too much into D&D. I like to keep things... When I encounter something, I encounter something for the first time. So like...
It's hard if you're a DM because you obviously know things and analyze the situation. You just do it automatically because you're so used to. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to be a DM right now. I just want to play, you know?
The funniest thing is that I DM for Adventures League here in my town. And I did Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And so, like, there's this one room in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage where, like, everything else is dusty in this maze. It's fucked. It's completely all over the place. You enter this one hallway, it's immaculate. It's clean. It's like nothing's touched it.
Yeah.
And one of my players goes, I don't trust it. And I'm like, why not? Someone's just been cleaning through here. Bullshit. There's a fucking cube in here. And I'm like, you don't know that? He's like, oh, I know my character wouldn't know that, but I'm freaking the fuck out. And he just starts everywhere he goes. Psychic knife, psychic knife, psychic knife, psychic knife.
I have that at the table because we have a couple of DMs playing in there. I know exactly what this is, but my character doesn't. And they're like, you see them freaking out, and I'm just like, I don't know this creature. I'm okay. We'll figure it out along the way. You know?
Yeah, this
fine.
Man, what is this strange bug creature? That's a mage hunter. How fucked am I? Do you cast magic? Yes! You're not hurting this thing.
Yeah.
Yay!
Or someone's like, I know it's a green hag, and I'm like, what's a green hag? And I'm like, stop, don't Google it, don't Google it, don't Google the hit points. You know, it's like, stop it. So the last one shot I actually played, it was a spontaneous thing, and it played in the 1920s or whatever, which is a thing where I normally wouldn't play, but it was actually fun because the people were fun. And then I'm like, you know what? I could just use suggestion. I was playing a variant tiefling, so winged, and I was in disguise all the time. I used Mask of Many Faces, so she never looked like a tiefling, right? And people didn't know I could fly and whatever. And then at some point I was like, I cast suggestion on the BBG and was like, just shut up, sit on your hands kind of situation. The DM rolled a natural 1, and we basically won the fight because the person was just stuck on their hands, you know? And it's like creative solutions, and I already felt that. I'm like, if this works, the fight's over and everybody can't do like initiative and roll and whatever. I'm like, should I do this? And you're sitting there, should I do this? Because it could actually work. So, you know?
The mark of a good DM is a DM that D&D has its set rules, but it's up to the DM and the players to work things out together. And if a player says something to me that both A, logically would make sense, or B, is really fucking cool, I'ma do that. I don't care what the rules say. Because this is a story at the end of the day. This is fiction. We can do whatever the hell we want. Not everything, but a lot of things. And if a DM is willing to do that, that's a sign of a good GM. But
for sure.
I do want to get Chat in on this. So, Chat, I know you have been sitting there waiting patiently. I appreciate you all so much, you beautiful, beautiful bastards. You may ask your questions now for our lovely individual here. Also, hi, Levy.
We can pick up the Rogue Bard Cleric because versatility is great. Yep, totally agree. I love playing those three also in like multi-classes because they just give you so much stuff to play with. I love it. Also, yes, I know it's very like less the Rogue because that's kind of like fighting, but yeah, the rest is very spellcastery.
So going back here a little bit, from Shadow, how long does it take to make one cosplay and do cosplay other things besides D&D?
It depends on the character. For example, Ela that I'm building right now is gonna be guesstimation from other people because they're building similar costumes, not the same as I do, but they spend like 350 to 450 hours. So it takes a while. Then there are other characters which I can, let's say, bang out in a couple of days when it's really basic. And since I'm coming from sewing, I am normally a bit faster than other people because a lot of cosplayers don't sew. They hate sewing. So let's say it like this. If you have a pattern, it goes quicker. If you have to make your own pattern, it takes a while. Yeah. So it really depends on the character. For example, Lagatha, I actually watch YouTube videos for leather making and chainmail. So I actually made it out of leather and chainmail. And that obviously takes a bit longer. And it's pretty, let's say it like this. I don't do it consciously, but I pick cosplays where I learn a new skill. And it's just like, I think you're pushing yourself automatically when you're seeing something. Ooh, that's shiny, I want to make it. And yeah, so depending on what it is. There are a couple of like, I basically just want to play cosplay Critical Role, look at it. But on the other hand, I now started cosplaying my own OCs. And I'm trying to incorporate other things too. Otherwise, my Instagram actually looks like just a D&D, indie cosplay, which is not bad, I guess, because I finally would have a focus, but then again, ADHD would get bored, and so I'm trying to keep it a bit mixed. Let's say it like this.
All right.
But I've also done a Captain Marvel as a steampunk version, which I brought to DragonCon. Weirdly enough, America loved it. When I was wearing it in Germany, nobody cared. And at DragonCon, I was wearing it when we were picking up tickets, and DragonCon is basically you pick it up at the Sheraton and the whole queue goes around the whole building. It's a whole block. And people literally came back after picking up their tickets. The whole thing, they just walked back, tried to find me and just tell me how awesome or how much they liked the cosplay. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that reaction, you know? I was just like almost melting away, not only from the humidity, but also like, this is cool. You know, so yeah.
It is so weird being recognized in public. And just like having... I got recognized at my hobby store, and
That's cool.
It was weird, because it's just like, I was wearing my mask and everything, and just like talking to the cashier, because I know them. And then
so did they recognize you over the voice? Or?
Yeah, they recognized my voice. They're like, who the fuck is that? We know that voice.
I know you.
And then they're just like, excuse me, are you Dave the Minion? And I'm like, yes. I just couldn't say anything else other than just, yeah. It was so weird being recognized in public. And it's not happened since. And I'm kind of grateful for that, because where I live is... I am very pro-LGBTQ, I'm very pro-socialist, everything. And where I live, let's just say that they have threatened to kill people like me, so...
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Yeah, I live in the Texas of Canada. No, it's Whatever.
Where the hell is that? Like
Alberta.
in the middle of nowhere?
It's a province called
Oh
Alberta.
yeah, okay.
It is
Okay,
it is
gotcha.
such the Texas of Canada, and
Yeah.
everybody who lives here either hates it or doesn't understand why they should hate it.
Okay, gotcha. Now I've only been to like the cousin of my mom or the family. He actually died now. They are literally a kilometer away from Niagara Falls, so we've been that, and then Toronto, and then I don't know the whole area like Ontario and whatever. So up to Montreal, I think. But that's as much as I had of Canada so far.
Yeah,
And a layover in Montreal, that's it.
to be fair, I have not left Canada. My family has. My brother, my mom, and my dad, they serve with the cadets, like the Canadian cadets.
Oh, okay.
And they flew over and basically went all over Europe and Britain.
Nice.
And caused an international incident.
What one does?
So, it's old news now, but I don't know Europe that well, but apparently there's this one hub where like you can just take a speed train all over Europe, kind of a thing. And I think they were going from France to Germany, or France to Sweden, somewhere, because they were doing like a tour.
Probably Germany, because that's right next to it.
Yeah. So while they were in France at Vimy Ridge, they went to the gift shop. And I guess the gift shop just took an artillery shell from somewhere. And failed and just like emptied, like hauled it out. And one of the cadets' parents bought this shell. Nothing of it. And then the dad and his son thought, hey, how about we fill this shell with stuff? Yeah, how tight is security at those tram stations?
It depends.
Metal detectors and x-rays. So when you put
It doesn't sound like a train station.
It was. They explained it to me, and I'm explaining it poorly. But basically, they go down to this terminal. They're going through metal detector and all. They get rung for a bomb threat.
Okay, great.
Because
good job.
what they didn't realize is that the detonator, this shell was harmless, but the detonator was still in it.
Yeah. Oh,
so
okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
When you X-ray a shell with a detonator that is full of stuff, you think bomb.
Got it. Yeah, obviously.
And they shut down the whole terminal in France.
Obviously, they have to.
Yeah, and it's just, and I'm over with my family, my mom's side of the family, over in a province over, because they had to watch me. And I just get a call from my auntie, and she's like, hey, so, your parents and brother are, like, probably in shit? And I'm like, they're in fucking France! What the hell could they do? And then I get to Skype call them, and I'm like, what the hell happened? And they told me everything. And they're laughing about it, and I'm like, guys, you nearly caused you caused an incident. That's not something to laugh about.
You nearly got stuck in a French prison.
Yeah. The worst of it was that, like, the dad and the son, like, the dad had to pay a fine.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you stop an international tram terminal, and you only get off with a fine. You lucky bastard.
Yeah, and do you know how many people hate you because they actually had an appointment and needed to go and maybe have missed their planes, trains, or whatever?
Yeah. I do not blame anyone for being upset after that.
No.
Any other questions, guys? I know, like, we're just going on tangents.
We
had one?
We had, like, how many trickery cleric do you play? I play a lot because I just love it. But to be fair, that's in my campaigns. I try when I'm playing one shots. I try to play other classes, but paladin maybe one day. But so far, I'm trying to mix it up and basically learn as much about D&D, also to get it to keep it interesting. And like you said earlier, I also often act as a filler, and weirdly enough, that's often cleric. So yeah, I just see there's no what there is a point, but normally there's no point to have a class double. Sometimes it makes sense, but often it's better to have like a mix and stuff. But I did want to play a party of clerics once, which I managed to do, and I found a DM to do that. And I did not play trickery. I played a light cleric, and it was so much fun. And again, I almost killed the whole combat by one move, one spell, which worked, and I was not expecting it to work. And I apologize for it to work so well. That's me. I apologize if things work. So dumb.
All right, from Shadow again. You guys, come on. There's... Okay. Shadow's asking fave nat 20 and nat 1.
You go.
So my favorite nat 20 was the time where I singled a final boss. So in Pathfinder,
Nice.
there's a class called Gunfire Alchemist. And how Pathfinder does it is that you have two ACs. You have your regular AC, and then you have
Okay.
touch. Your touch AC gets
Okay.
worse with how big you are, but gets better.
Okay. Because you're a bigger target?
Yes.
Okay.
Guns in Pathfinder hit touch. They don't hit regular
got
AC. And so I was playing a Gunfire Alchemist Tiefling, so my bullets were poisonous, and if you failed a Constitution save, you basically got sick and you would skip your turn because you're like trying not to throw up your guts. And they were also explosive. So not only am I doing a solid D12 damage, I am doing D6. I'm doing like, at the time I was doing like 96 plus my intelligence modifier and fire damage with the poison on top. And I could just rapid fire this garbage. And then, since I'm an alchemist, I also get access to spells, which are called extracts.
Nice.
And so before this final battle began, I used an extract called Clone, which basically makes Guiji for me. And I have my resources, give half of it over to my clone. They take half my health, all that kind of stuff. I take a Heroic Fortune, which allows me rerolls. I roll 3 nat 20s out of 5 shots for both of us.
Wow. Oh my god, okay. That's
Guns are a
disastrous.
4 times crit.
Yep. Wow.
We did the math. I quadrupled the boss's health by accident. And it was like this epic fight that like he was building up. It was this epic fight. Giant Storm King riding an ancient red dragon into battle. We're riding a griffin.
Wow.
And I'm like, haha, funny gun, go bang.
Go bang it.
My favorite.
That is crazy.
My favorite nat 1 though. God, my most recent one. I didn't roll the nat 1. It was my friend who tried to do he tried to attack us. Nat 1. And my character just stares at him after we killed this poor halfling. I'm like, shut up. We ended up surviving that because I talked us out. I talked our way through it, but that was the funniest shit. You're caught with your hand in the cookie jar, and your immediate response was, the cookies want me to eat them.
Yep.
How about you?
They called me. Similar thing. It didn't quadruple or whatever, but it's something. I feel like my DM keeps forgetting that I pull shit like that. So we were also waking dungeons at a situation where he put an encounter on us. I don't remember what type of beast it was, but in my head it's just gigantic and big and like a mix between a dragon and a worm, whatever. And I'm like, hey, rogue, wanna do some shit? So I'll take the rogue with me, dimension door on top of the beast, And he does like sneak attack, whatever, blah, 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 does some damage. And then I do inflict wounds, touch, level 6 or something, roll in at 20, and it just went from there, bam, 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 bam. And it's just stacked up. The whole thing basically fell apart, was skinned, whatever. And there was only a skeleton left kind of situation because I destroyed it. My DM didn't let me shrink it and put it in a necklace. I would have loved to keep like a... No, he's also like, I don't give you guys money. And I'm like, I'm a cleric, I need components. Like, I can't even do a crater restoration because I don't have a coin for it, you know? It's just...
Listen, I don't have
creative.
I don't have an abundance of diamond dust to snort.
No.
Aramis asks...
And then he's... No, last things. After that encounter, he's like, I'm giving you this wagon because you guys are always complaining that you can't shop. In this wagon, it's like a TARDIS. It has like, it's bigger on the inside and it basically anything we could wish for to buy. We don't have money, we can't buy shit. We just did that. Buy stuff. And I'm like, we don't have coin, you ass. You know, it literally like...
You can window shop.
Yeah. It's like, I would like to have that. It's also like, I want to polymorph into the dinosaur. Your character has not seen a dinosaur. I'm like, you don't know that. You don't know my backstory.
Bullshit, I'm a time-traveling space wizard.
Yes, exactly. So yeah. Net 1, I guess, because it... Normally net 1s can be really hilarious because you're just failing hardcore. But last time it freaked me so much out. I can't remember anything else because that was just the last encounter. And basically he let me and the ranger roll, what was it? A wisdom saving throw before we started. And I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, okay, this is the roll. Oh no, this is the roll. But the first roll I rolled was a net 1. And then I went live on TikTok and I was like, guys, I need to roll this. You guys are now like, you've witnessed this. It's gonna happen. And it took half an hour and whatever. And at the end, I'm like, okay, I'll go with the net 1. Just, I'll probably be in a coma. I'm gonna be whatever out. He's gonna murder me, whatever. And then the whole game didn't happen. So I had to wait for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And the whole thing was about someone scrying on us, and I didn't know it, you know? And then he's like, you guys need to know it. And he's like, you always have detect magic up, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, there's a sphere. And I'm like, you motherfucker, for 3 weeks. I was like, you're murdering me or something. And it was just fucking scrying. I'm like, no. You know, my anxiety was just like up there.
So, Aramis does ask, do you have a favorite set of dice?
I need to look at my dice. What about you?
I have a set of dark green black dice. And, there's one, I also have an extra D6 in there, and that was a D6 I got for Christmas. It is a hand-forged D6, so it's made of iron. And it has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but the 1 is a dragon head. Me and my brother got pair of that. So he got the phoenix, I got the dragon. And I think it would have been more poetic if I got the phoenix because my fiance's name is Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
But then again, if I rolled a natural 1 on my damage dice, I'd probably start hating the phoenix.
I get it. The thing is, I use different dice for different characters, but this one, it's probably the cheapest set you can get on Amazon. It's that standard red. I love that dice so much. But a friend of mine who I met over TikTok, she makes dice. And those are 2 of hers. And this one is a glow in the dark. It looks like lava, but it's green because my character, Kara, the trickery cleric, has Loki, so there's a bit of green in there. And you can't really see it.
I know, I can't really see it. But I can see it now! I can see it now! It's perfect.
Okay.
No, it was perfect
So
where it
if
was.
you-
It was perfect where it was. I could
Okay,
actually see it.
I'm
Flip the
sorry.
quote. No, you're good.
Okay, so if you actually have like a black light, blue light, whatever, it does glow up, and you see like the gaps, and it does look like lava. It's so cool. I have another one which is actually like more like lava colored and stuff, and that's how I found her. And you know what's the weirdest part? I found her on TikTok because she posts those dice making videos, and she has been following me for years on Instagram on my cosplay stuff, and has never said anything to me. It was so fucking weird. So she knew me. I didn't know her. It was weird.
I had
But
the
now we're doing the whole thing here together. So we're having a collab channel together.
The funniest thing is, same thing happened with me and Socialist. Is that like
Yeah.
he'd been following me, I wasn't even aware that he existed, and then people were like, "You should interview Big Fat Socialist," and I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?" And they're like, "This guy." I'm like, "Oh, I've seen him before." Follow. Why does it say I can message him? Hi. Oh, hey. I've heard of you before. I've been watching your stuff from the very start, and I'm like, I feel like such a prick.
You know what's really hilarious? So when I started like D&D TikTok, I think the people from the group, like Big Fast Socialist and whatever, they weren't really on the D&D TikTok train yet. So I know a lot of the older, like bigger ones, and I'm friends with them. So every time they are now in our Discord being like, "Oh, look who's following me," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm friends with them." It's like I'm a small creator because I'm just not being pushed out, but I basically have older friends. It's so weird.
Oh my god. So, I get into arguments online. I know I shouldn't. It's bad for my health. But I see
Yeah, it
stupid. I see stupid. I attack stupid. And this one person's like, "Why am I wasting my time on you? You only have like 98 followers." And I'm like, "What the fuck does that have to do with any of the arguments we've had?" And I go
Yeah.
and talk to my friend who has like 6,000 people following him, and he's like, "You know I'm following you on Twitter, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." You could have literally just pulled out. You could have just pulled out like, "Well, I'm being followed by an account with 6,000 followers, so shut the fuck up." And it's
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah. You know the okay, here's a crazy fact actually. So I used to be on Twitter in 2010 or whatever, whenever it came out ish. Early adopter always. And we used it, and it was fun, and there was a whole community, and then they also changed the whole thing, so I didn't use Twitter at all anymore after a certain I only got back on Twitter only because of Critical Role, so I can see what the news are, what the cast is posting, and post some cosplay stuff from Critical Role. That's it. Anyway, someone followed me and is like, "Oh my god, I'm only following you because Barack Obama is following you." And I'm like, "What the heck?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, he is." But he's also following like a million other people. But I'm like, "Why the hell is Barack Obama following me?" It's so weird. It's like, what?
Barack Obama is a D&D nerd. Who knew?
No, that was way before that. That was, I think, at this time when we were living in America. It must be from that time because we were talking about like wanting to live in America and stay and whatever. But it's like, why? This is so random. You know, it's like, why is this happening? I'm so confused and embarrassed, and I will never post anything ever again.
It's wild posting on Twitter. Cause
Yeah.
I make a good post, nothing. I make a post roasting Elon Musk alive. It gets all the traction, and I'm just like, what
That's
the fuck?
absolutely normal. I mean, if you you could build your whole persona just roasting things, and people would watch it because it's just different, you know. It's
That's what Dave the Minion was.
Yeah.
I just go full
There's
circle.
so many.
Ah!
Yep.
So.
But it's the same like playing an evil character in D&D. It's like the energy you put in there. It's like if you would go for aggression and complaining and whatever all the time, you also attract that. The question is, do you want that, and can you deal with it? And is it like it's getting exhausting, you know? Otherwise, you're just shutting down and ignoring it. I guess that would work too, but it's hard. I couldn't do it.
Oh, Aramis asked, is there a recurring joke from your group you could share, no context?
We do have something, but it's not really in the campaign. It's more like when our DM starts like his monologue, which he calls monologuing. We are not supposed to interrupt him, and we always do. It's similar to, I guess, with Matt. And last time I actually rolled like a dice, and I was like, okay, I rolled a 10. I'm gonna interrupt him 10 times or something. So he almost murdered me. So it's a running thing. We have a lot of like little insights, which you probably have.
Oh, we have tons. There's one where I was late to the session, and I had earlier said that day to confirm that I was coming. I'm like, if I'm not there, I am either dead or buried. And I was late by a good 10 minutes. And my DM texts me, he's like, so are you dead or buried? And I get, and from then on, they've never let that die. Is that like, are you dead or buried?
Yeah.
And then there was another time we were playing a campaign. We were chasing this character down all throughout this fortress. And this character's like screaming something about a dreamstone. And then our captain of our crew, because it's a pirate campaign, busts down the door where this guy is. Scythe trap. Scythe's crit. Knocks him out. Our fucking spellcaster just jumps over him. And the guy's like, no! No! Leave me alone! Oh, I don't want this! He just grabs him with a scruff of his coat and screams, where's the dreamstone? Ah! And from now on, every time like we're interrogating someone or we're just doing something in public, one of our friends will just go, where's the dreamstone?
Dreamstone.
And we're like,
that's hilarious.
It's so funny. It's just so wild.
Yeah.
And one of the ones with my new Pathfinder group was that we were doing this heist. And what's the one thing you do when you have hostages that you were hired to take? You don't tell them who fucking hired you, especially if they're the daughter of a noble. And so our lizard person with an intelligence of 7 basically says, "Oh, Duke Frederington hired us to kidnap you, and my name is insert name here." And she's like, "Oh, well, bang." I shoot her dead, and I just turn to our lizard and start screaming at him and saying, "Rule 1!" And now we go with the Rule 1 kind of a thing.
I love that. I love those little things that just happen. It's like our DM loves ducks for some reason. So all of a sudden, we either make duck jokes, puns, whatever, or how many ducks are on the pond? And he's like, fuck you! And he's rolling how many... And they might even attack us. So it's like anywhere where we can put ducks now, it's happening, you know? It's just...
The Canadian geese of a situation.
Exactly. Also, Canadian geese are pretty.
They're pretty, but so where I live not too far from a lake, and geese congregate there. Geese are very messy creatures, and they are just vipers with legs. We lived with them, and there's just this unspoken rule of you don't fuck with the geese, and the geese don't fuck with you.
Oh no. Exactly.
Like my dog. My dog was just like barking at them. I'm like, you're about to figure out and find out real fucking quick.
Oh yeah.
She found out real quick, and like 2 geese were just like, we're gonna rock your fucking world if you get closer.
Oh yeah. They are vicious. We don't, or actually here where I live, I haven't seen anything. I think they actually exist here too. But we lived in Ohio for a while, and they actually had tons of Canadian geese. And I'm like, what are you? You're so pretty. And they actually just run through the whole industrial area, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna fuck with you. I'm almost scared. You're too many. You know, so yeah.
It's wild living with these creatures nearby. It is just
Cobra chickens.
Yep, I call them vipers
Love
with
it.
legs. That's it, because they actually hiss at you. They go.
Yep.
And I'm like, why? Why are you hissing? You are burb.
Also, release the Quacken. I love it. Yes, exactly that.
It's
Let me think. There was something else we. God damn it! I can't remember. Shit. Yeah, it's coming back on Aunt. We'll see. Do you have? So it's your interview, so you do the. Do you have any more questions?
Come on, guys. Do you have any more questions? Or should we let our guest here go to bed, because it is like 3:08 for them?
Yeah, but I have insomnia, so.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm keeping you entertained.
Yeah, it was that or just watching more stuff. Yeah, favorite TV shows.
Favorite TV shows. Ooh. So, a lot of people are not going to know this, but my absolute favorite TV show is Tron Uprising, and it is criminal what Disney did to that show, and I am pissed.
I have not seen the new one.
So Tron got 2 movies. There was the first one, then there was the Tron Legacy movie, which is just Daft Punk the musical.
True.
Then they got a TV show that had Elijah Bloom as the main character.
Okay.
And essentially,
no, I've not seen that one.
It's the story of how a regular mechanic becomes the figurehead of rebellion. And it's so good because it asks a lot of questions, and that, like, there are good people inside the occupation. They're just being misled, or they're just as much a victim as everyone else. And the main character, Tron, he is damaged. He is a mentor that is damaged, and there is a 2-episode arc where his best friend, like his ex-partner best friend, comes into the city where they're hiding in, and is just like going through everything. He's just inspecting the base. He's heard about this renegade, and he's interested. And it's so cool to watch this guy work. And he's just grilling the main bad guys of the show. And it's just like, you know, you have brass balls when the main bad guy who's torn the main character apart earlier in the show, he's just sitting in his chair and just like, I've come to fire you. What? Nah, I'm just kidding with you, buddy. I'm just here doing inspection.
Oh God.
It is such a good show. And then, like,
okay, I'll put it on the list.
if you want to watch it, it's on Disney Plus. But it only got 1 season, and it's fucking frustrating because it ends on a cliffhanger. And
don't. Oh my God, I hate that. There's so many good like shows, and they end after like 10 episodes, and you're like, fuck you.
They took it. So they took it off the air because they showed on-screen death. They were not scared to kill people in this show. But, like, they got away with it because they're like, oh, well, there's no blood. They just turned to cubes.
Okay.
And it's like, damn.
Wasn't there a rule? Wasn't there a rule you never see someone die in a Disney movie?
Yeah, you never.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, Alex Hirsch goes over this, the guy who created Gravity Falls, he talks about it. But for Tron Uprising, they just did not care. They were like, nah, they're programs. Murder them. Fucking kill them. And, like, you see people get fucking decapitated. You see people get ran through. People fall to their death or get crushed. It's like,
I watched Game of Thrones literally when it came out, and the beginning scene is just blood and gore and snow, and you're like, do I want to watch that? And the first couple of episodes is still like bloody murder, rape, incest, whatever, and you're like, what the hell am I watching? And then at some point it gets popular, and like, okay. Apparently people like it. And then, I mean, it got soft compared to the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people fell in love with Game of Thrones because of like Tyrion and Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Those two characters are what everyone watched the show for, because they wanted to see the underdog make it out on top. And
Yeah, for sure.
Tyrion and Jon are just the key characters of the underdog.
Returning to the beginning, because that's how ADHD works. So the first cosplay I did in when I knew what cosplay is was Ygritte, the first love interest from Jon. So that's what I cosplayed in at DragonCon for the first time. And here, fun fact, there was already like a bigger group, but it was like season 3, 4-ish. So that's when the hype started, right? So not like the big hype yet, but there was already like a big group for Game of Thrones cosplay. And so a lot of people who see me at DragonCon now are like, oh, Sarah, and I look over and I'm like, I have freaking no idea who they are. I'm just waiting for them to bring up something in the conversation, because obviously they're not in the same cosplay, but because I was the only Ygritte, they remember me, right? Also, I have a really bad like problem when there's a big crowd and I look at people, can't really connect them unless I see like the costume and know. If I just see a face, I'm like, especially when there's makeup on there, I'm just lost. So I'm always waiting for people to say something, or I recognize someone they're with or something like that. It's so bad. I always apologize because I'm literally face blind. It just doesn't work. I can't commute. It's just...
It is a frustrating endeavor trying to like put names to faces.
Ugh, dude. No.
It's
online, it's better. I mean, I would probably recognize like TikTokers because you see them from different perspectives and movement. But if it's just like mainly cosplay photos or whatever, it's like, kill me now. It's like, sorry.
Yeah, luckily I haven't had to deal with that, but that's mostly because I've only been to 2 conventions in my life, and that's because I ran one and then I went to one.
Oh, okay.
It was a high school thing.
Okay. Fair. I have one more story to the being recognized, and here's the weirdest part. It was of a channel which only has like 800 followers or something. Nothing compared to the other channels I had on YouTube. It was a weight loss channel, right? So I was doing a road trip with a completely different story. If it was a promo thing. But I stopped before Las Vegas on an empty parking lot just to put on my GoPro because I wanted to film like the entrance to LA. And there was a how's it called? Moving car. And a woman comes up to me and is like, hey, are you the German girl? And I'm looking at her, what the hell? It was literally in the middle of the desert. There was nothing. And I'm like, yeah. So she actually was watching the channel, and it was so fun because we started talking and whatever, and so random, you know, whatever.
It's completely
and she actually worked for Delta, and she helped us years later with a flight that got canceled and rebooked, whatever. Isn't that weird how you meet people?
It is very weird
crazy.
how you meet people. So,
yeah.
yeah. Meeting people is so bloody weird. My friends, my best friend, Toast, he's a year older than me, and as he described me, because I was hanging out with his other friend when we were younger, and he's like, who's this weird kid following us around with like a 40K book? And then later on, I'm now his best friend. Or my fiance.
That's how it goes.
My fiance, we knew about each other from junior high, but we never interacted, and then we were formally introduced in high school, and now here I am with them just probably eating reheated McDonald's in the other room.
Nice. As long as it's okay.
Yeah. Speaking of, I am starving. I have not eaten.
You should go and eat food.
Yes. So, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It is an honor to have you on. Is there anything that you want to say to the chat or anything?
Oh, thanks for sticking with us. I'm pretty sure everybody stayed because the viewer count has not really changed. So I'm very proud of you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us. And follow us, all of us.
You can find Duchess of Dragons on TikTok. Just look at Duchess and Dragons. They've got other accounts too that are most likely linked all over the place. They have an Instagram.
Yep, Nerdish Cosplay, Duchess and Dragons. You'll find one eventually, and from there it just links off.
But yeah, again, thank you so much for coming on, and I hope to have you and others on again soon. Just to let you all know, there will be an interview with Chris Fire next Saturday during the day. We're going to talk about D&D, we're going to talk about tabletop gaming, all that kind of good stuff. But thank you so much again, Duchess and Dragons.
And also tell your fiancé I'm sorry that she had to eat alone now.
Nah, she does it all the time, don't worry. You have a wonderful night, and I hope you do get some sleep.
You too. All right.
Have a good
Thanks, chat. Bye.
Good night.
Night.
So, chat, that was very interesting. She is a very interesting individual. Cosplay is something I'm fascinated by. It's a very interesting area of art, and like trying to like get the characteristics and the style down of cosplay is very interesting to me as an art form. And I do want to do cosplay. I do want to try it at least once before I die. It's just finding the time and then finding someone that can help me through and do the sewing, because these hands were not meant for sewing. They're sausage fingers. Just do it. How dare! How dare! I will try. But yeah. Cosplay is always such a fascinating thing. And just seeing the passion, the drive from their community, it's so cool. Cosplay as Hunter, Owl House, or Dave the Minion. If I'm cosplaying anyone from the Owl House, it's gonna be Hootie. You can't stop me. You know how easy it would be to cosplay Hootie? Poor Hootie, reporting for duty. And we barely talked about it. Ah, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Next time I have you on, I'm going to ask a lot more questions about it. Always takes a... It does! It does! Ah! But yeah, like I said, if I was going to cosplay anyone from Owl House, it's going to be Hootie. Fuck the lot of you. Hootie's my favorite character. Fucking discount Mickey Mouse Alex Hirsch. Great shit. The Discord has a cosplay channel for a reason. Get Nightmare of Skeleton Hoot. Skeleton Hootie is adorable. Screw you. Sleepwalking! 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 I do want to cosplay, like, a Marine. Because, like, just the cool armor and everything. Just, like, get food. Okay. Yeah, so I gotta end the stream here. I am starving. We will be back Sunday, either with Monster Hunter Rise, or maybe the next Pokemon Nuzlocke. We do not know, but we will see. But you all have a fantastic night. I appreciate those who stuck around. You are all wonderful. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we had. You all have a wonderful night. I love you all so much. You're all great. Good night, everybody! And no, I will not dress up as Luz.